In this lesson, we'll have a little chat about exceptions. So far, the code that we've been running has executed without any problems. And I'm sure on your end, you've run into a couple issues whenever you, for example, have had a typo in your code. Errors are a regular part of programming, and they come in many different forms. Errors can be syntactical, they can be logical, they can even be language specific. An exception is an error that occurs when a program is running. And if an error is not dealt with, Python will simply halt execution of the code and crash. It's also going to provide you with what's called a traceback. A traceback is a record of where the interpreter ran into trouble. So you can think of it as a bit of a debugging output. Python will do its best to communicate in what file and at what line the code went wrong. Python will provide the type of the error as well as a descriptive error message. In this lesson, what I want to do is go through 4 different exceptions: name error, syntax error, type error, and value error, to show you some of the problems you'll encounter as you write code throughout the course and throughout your Python career. Now, this is a small sample of the errors that are available or built into Python, so they're just designed to get our feet wet and to get us thinking about how our program can crash, how our program can go wrong. Now, the most important challenge is always more mental than it is technical. It is okay to run into errors. It is expected, it is normal, it is part of being a developer. The important thing is to train yourself, to train your brain to not react with panic or anxiety, but rather to treat the error as a hint to guide you on the path to fixing your code. So what we're going to do in this lesson is to train us by literally making mistake after mistake after mistake intentionally. So let's begin with the name error exception. A name error exception is raised when the interpreter cannot recognize a name that is being referred to in your program. An example is a variable that has not been declared. And sometimes this mistake can happen accidentally. For example, let's say I'm writing a program and I declare a variable called first name, and I'll assign it equal to the string Boris. And let's say somewhere way down later in the file, maybe 50 lines downwards, I forget what my variable is called, and I assume that maybe it's called first name without a underscore. So I'm going to try to print out first name, and we're predictably going to get an error. So on the right-hand side, we have what's called our traceback message. This is our output of the debugging aspect of Python. This is Python trying to tell us where things went wrong. So we're going to get the location of the file, and we're also going to get the line. See here we have line number 5. That is referring to where Python actually ran into the problem, which is line number 5 when we tried to print first name. Below, we'll have the type of error. In this case, this is a name error. There are many different types of built-in errors in Python. This is one of them. And then we're going to have a descriptive message. Name, first name is not defined, right? Because of course, when it comes to strings or when it comes to variables as well, every single character makes a difference. So that underscore is a separate character in our variable name. So first name with an underscore and first name without an underscore are 2 totally different names, and Python doesn't recognize this one. Now again, the goal here is not to panic, but to simply read the error message patiently and try to figure out exactly what's going wrong. So in this case, you should look at this and say, okay, Python doesn't recognize first name. I don't get this. Doesn't first name exist in our program? At which point you might scroll up and say, oh, actually first name has an underscore. All right, and then you know exactly how to fix it. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to comment out this code because I want you to have this error available in the file in case you want to encounter it. But if we leave it up top, we're not going to be able to see any of the code below. So I'm going to comment out every single error as I go through it in the lesson. Okay, so that is the name error. Now let's talk a little bit about a type error. A type error exception is raised when an operation is applied to an object of an inappropriate type. An example is trying to add a string and a number together. For example, let's say I try to print the result of taking a string of the character 5 and using the plus sign and 3 on the other side. We can't actually add an integer to a string. So we're going to get this result. Type error can only concatenate string, not integer, to an existing string. Python thinks we're trying to concatenate 3, but we can't do it because 3 is an integer. Once again, we have a traceback. We have the file, we have the line number where we ran into the error, but here we have a different type of error. This is a type error, which tells us that something is wrong with the data type. Something is wrong in this case with the type of 3. It is the wrong type of data. By the way, here's something interesting. What do you think will happen if I reverse this? If I do 3 plus a string of 5. We're actually going to get a different error message. You can see it's still the same error type. It is a type error, but the error message now is unsupported operand type for the plus sign, int, and string. So here's what's actually happening. Whatever is to the left of the operand, whatever is to the left of the plus sign, is what Python is going to use as its base for evaluating what it thinks you want to do. So when Python sees a string like 5, it's going to think that you're trying to concatenate with the plus sign. And whenever Python sees a number like 3, it's going to think you're trying to add. So these are actually two different types of errors. In line number 7, Python thinks you're trying to concatenate. On line number 8, Python thinks you're trying to add, right? And it may be a small difference. They're both type errors, but it actually is important because we're going to see different error messages. And as you practice more, you're going to start to associate which error messages come from what problem. So it's important to recognize at least the differences between these because that'll allow you to observe your code and much more quickly spot exactly what's going wrong. Let's go ahead and comment this code out and proceed to our next error. The ValueError exception is raised when a function receives an argument that has the right type but an inappropriate value. So an example here is a string being passed to the int function that cannot be converted to an integer. So for example, I can pass in the string x, y, z. Once again, on the right-hand side, we're going to see our traceback message, our file, our line number, our type of error, which is a value error, and it's going to say invalid literal for int with base 10, x, y, z. So why is this a value error? It's a value error because the type fundamentally is correct. So let's compare this with the type error that we saw above. Here, we're trying to add 3 to a string. That is fundamentally impossible. It is the wrong type that we are trying to add. We can only add a string to a string or a number to a number. In this case, int expects to get a string. So we are giving it the right type of data. We are passing the int function a string. The problem is that that string's value is inappropriate. X, Y, Z is not a valid value to provide to int. So let me read the description of value error again. It's raised when a function receives an argument that has the right type but is an inappropriate value. Okay, that's the difference between type error and value error. Type error is completely the wrong type, while value error is the right type, but an incorrect or inappropriate or insufficient value. A string for int is exactly what int expects. If we gave it a string of the character 5, we would have no problems here. The string type is correct. However, the contents of the string x, y, z are what are invalid. It is a wrong value, and that's where we get a value error. Right type, wrong value. Finally, let's talk about the syntax error exception. The syntax error exception is raised when there is faulty syntax in the code, when you make a mistake, when you make a typo. It's going to happen to everyone at some point in their careers. For me, as a professional developer, it happens just about daily. And that's, again, tying back to the central theme that I introduced in the first minute of this lesson, which is it's totally normal to make mistakes. You don't become an expert typer the more that you code. You might become better, but everybody is always going to make mistakes. So do not be frightened of these error messages. Do not worry when things go wrong. It is completely normal and acceptable. In fact, if you're not making any mistakes, you're probably not learning. And at that point, you should probably start learning something new or maybe considering a different line of work. It's totally okay to make mistakes. So what's an example of a syntax error? Well, it can look something like this. We may have a print function call and we may have a string of hello, but we may forget to put the closing double quote, or we may accidentally have it deleted. Well, we're going to run into a syntax error. This is because Python literally cannot parse the code that appears in your file. It doesn't understand what's going on. It's not even able to calculate that something is wrong technically, like trying to add a 3 to a string of 5. In this case, it literally can't process the actual text in your file. So once again, here's our traceback, our file, our line number, our type of error is a syntax error, and here we have a descriptive message, EOL, while scanning string literal. EOL means end of line. So what that's saying is that Python was scanning for or looking for a string literal, a conclusion of a string literal to be more specific, the closing quote, but it wasn't able to decipher one because it reached the end of the line. It reached the end of line 12 without finding the conclusion of your string literal. It was scanning for it, right? It was looking for the end of your string, but it reached the end of the line and it knows that something went wrong. All right, and that's all there is to cover in this lesson. We dove into 4 built-in errors, which are called exceptions that are available in Python. Name error, value error, type error, and syntax error. Name error happens when you have a name or you reference a name that doesn't actually exist in your program. Value error is when you have the correct type of data, but the wrong value, an inappropriate value. Type error occurs when you have the wrong type, when it's something that's incompatible with whatever operation it is that you're trying to do. And syntax error, which is just a spelling mistake or something that is incompatible with how Python parses its program. And there are dozens of other exceptions for you to explore in the Python documentation, and probably you're going to see them as you proceed through the course. You're going to make mistakes even as you're copying along the code from the video. So again, I hope that this lesson has been a little bit of a kind of a calm, soothing lesson to remind you that it's totally okay when you run into these problems. I just wanted these 4 to be an introduction because these 4 are very common ones, probably the 4 most common ones you're going to run into, but you're going to see a lot more as you proceed. So look forward to it. Be excited about it because it's kind of fun. I'm kind of envious that you're getting a chance to discover all these ways in which you can make mistakes and all the ways that you can fix them. It's really a good feeling when you find out what you did wrong, and that's really when you grow as a developer and kind of commit to memory those patterns of here's what I did wrong, here's how I'm going to avoid it next time. All right, that's all there is to cover in this one, so I will see you in the next lesson.